Welcome back, welcome back. No cap sports, man. Coming to y'all live. It's been a minute, and we got to talk some hoops because there's been a lot going on. We came to y'all live at the trade deadline, but a lot has happened since then. Of course, we got the crew here. I'm Nick, got my boy Josh, TJ, and of course, Vance. We got to start with you, bruh. We got to talk about the Lakers and what the hell going on in LA ever since the trade deadline. Just tell us how you feeling, brother, man.
Yeah, man, evil twin, evil twin. We traded for the best player in the world, bro, and we're reaping the benefits. Won 8 of our last 9 games. Of course, they lost the game to Boston. Got slowed down a little bit. Braun is hurt. It kind of sucks, but we still got Luka hooping on one hip, one good hip. That's what he did on one good hip. Brought us all the way back against Boston, down 20, almost won the game by himself. So, listen, man, I'm loving what I'm seeing. The top three in the list right now, dude, in second place. And so, with that being said, how do you guys feel about the Luka and Braun fit?
I think for me in hindsight, because we weren't the only ones, I said this, but a lot of people said this. I feel like we all look incredibly stupid, worrying about the Luka and Braun fit in terms of similarity in play style and playing position and ball dominance, all that. We just when look at it, a guy like Jokic that's done it, with no All Star teammates, regardless of how we feel about Jamal Murray. Just that level of basketball IQ, you figure shit out. You figure out how pieces should move on the floor, how
Yeah.
adaptability, how the personnel that y'all got, which is complementary. Shout out Palinka. How do you make it work? So I think that because it was often, like I said, it was an oft repeated narrative. I just feel that in hindsight, very soon hindsight, we all look crazy, wondering like, oh my God, how is again, one of the best playoff young performers that we ever seen, and either the first or second best player ever to play the game. How's it gonna work? I just feel like it looks really crazy. But outside of the big man and the defensive concerns, timeline is expedited, and I was thinking it may be at least a next year thing in terms of for them competing for a chip. But right now, they look like top four contender in the league.
Nah,
So yeah.
facts.
Yes,
Facts.
sir.
And I'm gonna say this, bro. Like one of the talking about the pairing, how it's going so far, it went so good. LeBron just won Player of the Month in February, bro. Like a 40-year-old man just won Player of the Month after teaming up with Luka Doncic. So, like Josh said, some people question the pairing. I didn't question the pairing on the offensive end. What has really surprised me about this Lakers team and about this pairing is how good they've been on defense since the trade deadline. This is the best defensive team in the league with Jackson 5 playing the five man, or starting at the five man. So. You look at the big man concerns they've had. JJ Redick has found a way to coach around that and turn this team and turn this roster into a very competitive roster. But I like what I've seen from this Lakers team so far.
I I picked the Lakers to go to the finals when they had that unserious ass roster to start the year. I respect AD as a player, but they had something going on behind the scenes, and Braun slimed him. He was like, you know what? I was at dinner, man. I could have never seen this coming. I was I was blindsided by this. Oh, come on, man.
Like, they definitely called Braun and said, Braun, are you okay with this? That nigga said do it and hung up.
Braun
That's
ain't all
definitely
the
what
lies he done
happened.
told. He ain't never been at dinner. I've been at dinner, ain't never been one of the lies he done told. He got too carried. He's like, let me use a new lie. They ain't gonna see this one
Checked
coming.
his Apple Watch for sure, bro. He did
Come on.
something. That nigga lying.
I like what I've been seeing. I'm surprised that, we were so caught up with what are they going to do at the five? What are they going to do at the five? I think the Mark Williams trade being rescinded, I think that is kind of a blessing in disguise because they've kind of taken on this like all we, have is we good with what we have mentality. Like it seemed like they kind of it was almost like AD started to panic because he was like, yeah, man, I think we need a five. And then everybody's like, damn, he might be right. I think we need a five. And then Rob Williams like, yeah, we need a five. It just ain't you. And then they sent him off. Um, I am very surprised that they have turned it up, but we're really about to see what Luka is. He worth his salt because of Bron? They say Bron's gonna be out 1 to 2 weeks. You can add a week on to that because if they've held on to playoff position and they only need to win 2 or 3 more games, they're not gonna rush him back. JJ just
Mm.
said he wants to stay out of the play-in, so I'm excited to see what they're gonna do. Not to toot my own horn, I picked them to go to the finals. I would love to see a matchup like we saw last night. Would it be a similar result? Who's to say? But
Hey, but I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this. Talking about Luca, Luca didn't call his form, caught his stride. Cause we didn't see him
Sure.
struggle over them first
Yeah.
couple games, over his last five, 31, 10, and 14. averaging 3 steals a game too. This
Nah,
this
that's
is a new
crazy.
Luka Doncic, you know what I'm saying? Plus he done regained his shooting form, shooting 40% from three, over 40%, 46% from the field. So I think over these next 2 weeks without Braun, I think this will be Luka's time to really further entrench himself in this Lakers culture with this Lakers team and really build up momentum for a playoff push. But Vance, I know you had some differing ideas about maybe how the Lakers should proceed following the news about LeBron. So I want to hear what you had to say, brother.
Man, listen, we have some haters, and this is addressed to Stephen A. What's the A stand for? Anthony. He like an Anthony. Stephen Anthony Smith, bro. This is for you. Hating on Bron. Stop hating on his son. This is what the if I was JJ Redick, I would just simply give Bron's minutes to Bronny, bro. Let him carry on the legacy, bro. It's for 2 weeks. At this point, somebody gonna have to get the minutes. Rui Hachimura, he's injured right now. So you just saw how Dorian Finney-Smith shot against the Celtics, bro. He was breaking everything. But he's been making shots. I listen, but he's a role player. And we see how Bronny's playing in the G League. Why not give him this time to develop some more, even playing without your dad? And so once he's come back, and if you have to get in the game, let's just say Gabe Vincent gets hurt again. You can give Gabe Vincent a minutes to Bronny. He'll be ready for that moment because you know it's going to happen. But listen, that's just what I think. Give Bronny some minutes, bro.
Jump all the way up there, bro.
I was
Don't
about to
try to
say,
safeguard it, bro.
No, no.
fact. The juice is loose for sure. He's like LeBron James Jr. I mean, I see the vision, bro.
So LeBron should come off the bench when Bronny come back.
Listen, he's not bad. We be seeing him playing.
I will say I mean, for my viewership's sake, I will. Every Bronny minute is better minute than Jordan Goodwin minute. So I mean, at least on that front, like, all
Bro.
right,
And that's so
Goodwin not
crazy
bad.
because
I'm
Jordan
not
Goodwin
mad.
was a Grizzly last year, bro.
He
He
One
was
of
hooping.
the
He was
one of
hooping.
the 30 Grizzlies we had last year.
He was hooping when he was in the
Right.
he was hooping.
No, he be hooping, but just like I said, anytime I see Mash Man and I don't see Luka LeBron, I'm like, okay, they got the subs, and let me pop
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I feel it. Unserious take aside, I do just like looking at.
Wow.
I mean, hey,
That's fucked up, bro. That's fucked up, bro.
I'm dead serious. Y'all think I'm playing, bro. I'm dead serious.
hey, you
You don't
got
have to give him all LeBron's minutes, but I definitely would play him, bro, because he's not that.
What, like 20 a night, 25 a night?
20 a
What you
night.
thinking? I'm saying like
I
25
mean,
minutes,
what
not
does
20.
Connect
Him on
get? Probably
Maxwell
about
Lewis.
15. Connect probably get about 15 on a normal night, bro. Why
Yeah.
not get him 15? I say do it with Connect. Bring them up together. They gonna be like Braun and Austin Reeves, bro. They gonna be the next Braun and Bronny and Connect.
Nah, when this
That's sick, bro. I just
Luka,
want you to know
no,
that.
for sure. The six,
Connect damn near Luka age, bro. Like, the fuck you mean he the next Luka?
He probably older than him, bro.
okay. Him and Luka they probably 12 months apart for real.
Oh, God.
Nah, it's so crazy. You say Luka had 3 steals, but I think visually, I mean, even last night in that Boston game, like we saw right at the top of the experiment with Charlotte beat them with like what the game plan is, coming down the stretch, attack him, and then you saw it last night in Boston where Jaylen Brown was like, "Oh, nah, the Doe White boy's not finna guard me." But it's crazy for me to see.
I love it.
No, I mean they're gonna have to do something about it because it's gonna continue.
Best player on the team.
But you would never think that bringing Luka Doncic to your team would have would have a positive defensive impact. But like you said, Nick, a little bit, I think everybody is realizing. I think TJ said it like with the 5 not coming after the deadline. I think everybody understood that the defensive floor had to be raised, and particularly on the perimeter guys because there is no rim protection. So either what I've seen from either what I've seen from guys like Reeves, they said Braun, obviously, with the amount of energy that he has saved now to be a better perimeter defender. Reeves has been a guy that was just okay in the past. At least he's able to consistently contain penetration, and also just like again, you add a guy like Dorian Finney-Smith, and then again the stuff that JJ is doing, like in late game situations that we've seen him do against the Knicks in terms of blitzing ball handlers and essentially just selling out with the blitz, a la Steve Spagnuolo, because again, like you said, you don't got anything behind you, so contain pressure. So I think it's been interesting to see, at least for this little 10-game stretch, how their defense has improved with Luka still being the cone. But I want to see, especially in the playoffs when you're playing the same team again and again, how defenses are going to react. Where it's going to be better personnel, but also you're not going to be, whether you got a big man, a Zubac or whatever, a Sengun, whatever, or you just got, a guy like SGA to where it's only going to be so much shutting him down or stopping penetration that you're going to do. I want to see if this junk defense, if it can be something that can be sustainable for them.
I think it can. I don't see why not. From what I've seen, they play hard enough to for it to work. So even if you're playing lazy, we seen like I feel like the whole team is connected. That's the biggest thing. Like they actually
Mhm.
like each other, like playing with each other. Unlike our team, the Grizzlies, it feels disconnected. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. Anyways, I feel like just because the way that they play connected, they all like each other. They know they have this goal in mind. They know what it takes to get to the finals. Just about everybody on the team. And so,
Mhm.
with that being said, man, I think it can work.
Yeah,
No,
and kind of to your point, like the minutes that Vando, Dorian Finney-Smith, some of the names I've thrown around, those guys have really helped this defensive unit and have propelled this team to the position they're in. Because you think about it, even guys like Jackson Hayes, he was a guy who was on the roster, but now his role has stepped up and he's turned into one of the better defensive big man in the league just over this stretch. So, like you said, they've bought in and they've really willed their way to the top of the West, away from the play-in, and put themselves in a good position. But another team that has done the same thing, looking at moving their way up the West, is Denver, who currently holds the number 2 spot. Jokic, a 30-20-20 game this week. This team keeps climbing. What has been the key to the Nuggets' success and their rise to the top of the West so far?
They have Nikola Jokic, the best player in the world. Yeah, it starts right there. Honestly, just being for real. And Jamal Murray has been playing a lot better in 2025 compared to how he was in the early months of the season. He's actually getting to 25, 30 points a game now. He stepped it up. Jamal Murray is a playoff performer. We've known him to be one like that. And so the later in the season, the better he's getting. I would say that's the biggest thing is Jamal Murray is hooping now too, alongside Jokic. He's going to do what he does every single night.
no, I would say for me, like evaluating the season in totality, they were kind of, staying afloat, third or fourth. They really look like they missed KCP. Guys like Braun and Porter with having to take that next step with him gone really didn't happen. And I think it's crazy to say in year 13, 14, whatever, Russell Westbrook may have saved their season. Not only just play wise, but energy wise. Aaron Gordon goes out for a significant stretch, and he feels that void in just terms of defense, energy, off ball cutting. But also, I think that there was a little bit of rejuvenation with Jokic. In kind of the same way that you see with I wouldn't say talent level right now, but just basketball IQ between Russ and Jokic to where like, okay, like just instantaneous, knowing where I need to be on the floor, knowing how this place is set up, knowing being 2, 3 steps ahead of the defense. Like I just feel like a connection like that with Jokic really again kept them afloat on the court, but just kind of gave him that jolt to where like he's the best player in the world. But between 30, 20, 20 that we just saw, I just do think after like this last 20, 25 games, a little bit before the All-Star break, he just
Yeah.
unlocked that another level essentially in terms of it like the flip was switch is like, yeah, I don't care if SJ wins the MVP. But like I said, the last 25 games is like, well, if I could get four, that would be cool. Because
Oh
even
God,
after his
that's the
attitude
same
has
thing
looked
what
like the past
happened.
25 games. So, like I said, with Russ keeping them afloat record wise, but also I feel like his insertion looking like Braun raised his play a little bit. MPJ is starting to give more than just knock down corner, open threes. So I just think that the energy that Russ brought in and just kind of the history that he had with the last two stops being just so negative, he was like a breath of fresh air for them in terms of like again his athleticism, but also just his connectivity and just bringing juice to the locker room, which we know that Russ is always going to do. But I think that that was truly the turning point for them.
Kind of going further on that, like a big reason to me is Christian Braun, like you said, this guy who's doubled his scoring from the past year to this current year, but this is a guy who's been inserted into that starting lineup and has been a consistent piece for them. And then on the continuing to talk about the Nuggets, a big thing for them is they're actually starting to hit threes now, something that they struggled to do early in the year. Over the past couple of seasons in the league, one of the lowest shooting in terms of attempts, 3-point shooting teams the Nuggets have been.
Yeah.
This year, just from pre All Star break to post, they've bumped up to shooting 35 attempts a game, shooting 40%, up that clip, and that's really helped them fuel this surge to the top of the West. But TJ, I gotta ask you, as we come down the stretch for this Nuggets team, do you have faith in those other guys around Jokic as they make that push in the playoffs, or do you think this is another early exit year for Denver?
I think what I've seen is kind of like how you guys hit on is like a lot more willing participants than hostages for the Jokic and Murray. Like, oh, we're just wait around for them to make a play. The other night against Phoenix, Aaron Gordon drops 4 or 5 threes in a row. Like you said, Christian Brown doubling his average. We looked at Russ when he got signed. We're like, oh, whatever. We didn't think too highly of it, but like when you watch him get in, it's instantaneous when he gets in the game. It's not just like, oh, you can see momentum. It's like from the jump. He's diving after balls. He's blocking shots. He's in the paint, banging with bigs, getting
Mm.
rebounds. A lot of things that I talked about when I was like, what do I think is wrong with this team, or what do I think can be wrong with, is that the fact that they were losing KCP and Bruce Brown. We've always had a question about their bench, but if you have one really good bench player, a lot of times you keep starters in with that unit. You can kind of push that to the side. They didn't have that. They got it with Russ. Strawther, he's come along, but
Fact.
again, Christian Brown, like just watching him from last year, when he caught the ball last year, he's looking to pass, he's looking to kick it out. He'd be at the rim. Who can I throw it to? He had a what he thought was a game-winning three at the time. Like the leaps and bounds, like you have a team full of winning participants who happen to have championship experience. I've talked about it a lot. The teams that I, joke about, like I don't respect because they haven't done it. This is a team that has done it. They just were there, and they went with basically two or three willing participants. Now I look at it like you have five. You have the MVP, who I think should win it again, probably won't win it again, but voter fatigue is real. Hit the first 20 game ever. Like that's sorry, 30 20 game. That's ridiculous. We won't ever see that again. But I like the fact that you have five willing participants. It's not just live and die by your stars, which gives me concern for some of these teams, like maybe OKC, maybe Cleveland. Not to disparage what they've done, but sometimes they're overly reliant. I will have more faith on the team, like you see with Boston. If you got five guys that can go, you'll be hard to beat. So I think I've
Yeah.
liked how they've turned it around.
And that's crazy as
Now,
hell you say that, bro. Because it's really statistically Jokic's best year, but
Yeah,
we finna give it to the Aura man in
Shay
OKC. But what you was
giggles.
finna say, Josh?
here's the thing. I am in favor of SGA winning MVP, and I still hate that shit. Like it's a very interesting dichotomy because
Yeah, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel
it
right.
don't. It
Yeah,
don't. I'm
it's like
looking at
Nah,
what's happening on the court and like all the men, like I said, youngest team, young team, no one see best conference, all that. But I'm just like, why is this nigga so lame? Like, why is it
yeah, he's
like
it's like he got it. Like you don't like him, but you watch him be like, Dad, he got it.
no
Like
for
that
He
boy
got
sure?
nice.
it.
He
He
is the
got it.
definition of that boy nice, bro.
Yeah,
Like
he
that boy
got it.
nice.
I don't want to give it to him, but he got it. That one that I texted in the group, I was like, yeah, it's unfortunate, but he's that guy. He got it. Shay giggles,
yeah,
he got it.
No, say yeah.
he
These
get buckets and
all
he
these
get fouls. That's all you
So,
gotta know about him.
so I
don't
mean, let's go on and talk about it then, bro. Since we already brought up the name SGA, current number one seed in the West,
Hmm.
current number one seed in the East, Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavs. Meet off, skim for skim.
Yo, you want to give a shout out to Skims? Okay, baby. The meat off.
Which number one seed is better, bro?
Mm.
I don't even feel like right speaking that could have that segment intro. But I think we really got to define, from my perspective, what do we talk about when we say better? Better in terms of who's got the best five on the floor, who got the best chemistry, or who do I think can go further in the playoffs? Because for me, that's a big difference. I would say OKC for sure. For sure. In terms of continuity, but also output. I just think talent for talent in terms of what we've seen this season, got the best five in the league. Chet running in the form of seeing he, especially this game, but you got this is supposed to be your great white hole rival versus Remby, your unicorn. That's a guy that you
Hmm.
still got in the tuck. Got your MVP winner. You got your, auxiliary secondary all-star and Jalen Williams, in their starting lineup. You got Hardenstein, your traditional bruiser, your guy that can stay on the floor and do big things, but not be played off on the floor, a la Rudy Gobert in the like I said, in the playoffs. And then you got your dogged defender Dort, or whoever the best wing is playing that night between him, Joe, or Wiggins, whatever. So I just feel like their five, for me personally, is blowing out Cleveland's five. I would say them taking this more talented. But Donovan Mitchell has hit a level in the playoffs as a rookie that we have not seen SGA hit yet. And once we get into the playoffs, it's always about who can be best in these moments. And SGA wasn't bad last year versus Dallas, But in terms, again, the history of what Donovan Mitchell has done, I would say the level of success that he's had, given the talent that he's had around him, but also just the dynamicism of his shot making in a way that, D Mitch gonna hit those step back threes. He's gonna get down here and dunk on somebody. As again, we saw SJ do it last year a little bit, but I'm just still wary of a guy that's relying on free throws, but also living in the mid range in the playoffs. If you're not Kobe Bryant or Kawhi Leonard in our generation or Michael Jordan, it doesn't really bowl too well for you to be getting the majority of your points out of the mid range. So for me, and like I said, nothing based off nothing else except of my ball knowledge and what I see. I trust Donovan Mitchell to get his in a playoff series more than Shea at this current moment. And for
That's
me, I would say that between that
I'm
and obviously the weaker conference, I trust Cleveland to be the better one seed, even though I think OKC is more talented.
ooh.
how you fuck with
You
that Mitchell meat?
Brother, I did not say that. Did not say that at all. Not even a
You
little.
did not say it. So
I actually that statement that I just
Joshua
made was
Jones.
my clarification that I did not say that. But respect. No, actually, no respect at all. What you finna say, TJ? Get it off. Let's change the subject.
Let's not forget 2 years ago, Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs get bounced by the Knicks. We asking all these questions about Donovan Mitchell and the playoffs. Was that just a bubble performance? Yada yada. For me, I have more faith in SGA than Donovan Mitchell because SGA can get it however a pro wants. If you feel what I'm saying.
whatever
From
a
the
pro needs.
hey, on
I
God,
got yeah.
on God, from the
So
three
y'all are part
point
of the
line.
propaganda machine. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, from the 3 point line, in the paint, at the free throw line, a true three-level scorer, averaging the second most free throws in the league. Because to me, getting to the free throw line is a skill. We've seen Ja Morant get frustrated over these past couple weeks because he can't get to the line. You've got three versatile bigs in Hardenstein, Chet, and Jay Will. Let's not forget about him. You can play them in all different kind of ways. Put Jay Will at the five, play a small lineup. Even go down even smaller, have no bigs, play Lou Dort at the five. And then on top of that, you got the star, you got the bigs, you got the snipers. OKC has 7 players shooting over 35% from three, bro. Like that is insane efficiency. Anybody who's open in the corner, open on the wing, you're counting on them to hit that shot. And this is a team that has led the league in point differential, bro. Like OKC, I think they've put it on tape more in a sense of they beat the shit out of everybody they're supposed to beat. You look at Cleveland, they'll play a tough game with Charlotte. They'll play a tough game with any random bottom of the barrel Eastern Conference team. So I just got more faith in OKC and the resume they've put together up to this point.
Yeah,
No,
no, I gotta agree with you, Nick. Just for the fact of OKC, I think they have more ammo than Cleveland when it just comes into firepower. Where you think your second best player is either Chet or J Dub on every single night. That's a great 2/3. Either one of them could be a two for real on any given night. And so with Cleveland, sometimes Darius Garland, he might have a great game, but he will give you a couple of stinkers here and there. And I can't necessarily say I trust Evan Mobley just yet. Him, I would say Chet right now. I would trust Chet more than him, and so that gives you more firepower. OKC has at least, I would say, 7 players, eight. I would go as far as 8 players that would be starters on any other team, and so for them to have that much depth, that much firepower, I think they're much better than Cleveland.
I will say it is crazy that Cleveland has, I would say, the likely defensive player of the year at this point, and I trust OKC a lot more defensively because, like you said, they got DeAndre Hunter, but in terms of what you're going to see in the playoffs, wing slash apex creator guys that's going to be with the ball in the hands. OKC literally has 5 CB1s that you could
Oh
throw
my
out there
God.
any night and be like,
The
hey,
whole team want to play defense. I've never
Yeah,
seen anything like it.
and pass the ball to Shea.
no, for
That's
sure.
all they want to do.
They want to do a lot more than Shea.
Mr. Giggles, here you go, Mr. Giggles. Like, bro, do something else that's different. Like, show up and let somebody else be the leading
No,
scorer.
yeah,
That'll be cool.
I was gonna say that like there's something that I noticed about Shea, and I think one of these games is gonna cost him. He does not trust any of his other teammates. Like, you can see it like before half, he just took an awful shot. Like when they're down, when the other team's going, he's gonna keep chucking it. Like if you look at some of these teams, like they know when to sacrifice. Like some people get romantic about basketball. Oh, the star player has to have the last shot. Like the teams like Boston and Denver, they know that you don't live and die by that.
Yeah.
Sometimes Derek White gonna take the game winner. Sometimes Tatum. Sometimes Brown. that's the Thunder's problem. Like they will literally live and die by SGA, and like the fact that they haven't won anything is giving me concern because he will literally shoot that shit from anywhere. If he feels like it's getting away from them, he'll put some shit up. If he feels like they need to win right here, he will throw that shit up. He's not going to be like, here, Chet, here, J-Dub. He will force some shit. And I think I had the same criticism of Donovan Mitchell. He's going to try to go ham and go a berserk mode and just start firing shit up from the logo. And he's like, oh, when it's firing, when it's hitting, he's like, yeah. But then when he goes 4 of 22 against the Hornets, we're like,
Whole
damn,
world
it's
quiet,
Cleveland.
bro.
Nah, that's crazy.
Like you said, like so. You brought up a good point, Nick. We don't talk about the fact that they got bounced. It was 4-2. It wasn't
Oh
even
God.
close. They got clapped. They almost got bounced last year. They
Facts. By
were
Orlando, bro.
Orlando is one of the worst offensive teams that I have seen in the last 5 years. They cannot score 100 points to save their life, and they gave Cleveland hell every
Hey,
single game.
Cleveland looked just as bad offensively in that
Come on
series.
now, like
Yeah.
that's. I will take OKC. They just been too much of a buzzsaw this year. Like, the fact that y'all talking about CB1s. Have you ever seen a team? You got guys who don't even think about shooting the ball, but they just want to get on the floor and play defense. You got Kenrich Williams, AJ Mitchell, the absolute scrubs
Alex
of scrubs.
Caruso diving
Come
for
on,
loose
bro.
balls,
They
bro.
don't even know they can shoot the ball. They think it's not even allowed. They
They done
like,
turned Casey Wallace to a 2 guard out of
come
nowhere.
on, bro. All they want to do is play defense. I'm not fucking with a team like that. Now I think they'll end up coming short, but like Cleveland, I wouldn't be surprised Cleveland going home after round 2. That's just me.
Right, round one.
Yeah,
There's a
me
I didn't
reason
too.
say round
why.
1. That might be a little too much because they
There's a
won it.
reason why Cleveland was on
AC that's
NBA
not Jimmy
TV.
Butler, nah, they'll be straight for
They
sure.
put Cleveland basketball games on NBA TV. They can't even make it on ESPN.
I mean, TJ,
And it's a reason why.
no, nobody's brother. I got a homie that live in Cleveland. Shout out my boy Ari, and I went to visit him. Brother, it's a reason why you don't get nothing hype in Northeast Ohio. But you want to give credit for rightfully so. You give credit for OKC being a buzzsaw.
Right.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to that conversation how we have about Philly in terms of how the wins look. Yes, Cleveland can be up and down in terms of how they win games, but another 50-win team with over 2 weeks left in the season. They have been killing shit, and I just do think, we talk about that playoff series with Orlando, kind of how they went out last year as a 4 seed. I just think that I don't know the unquantifiable, the timeline, we need to make this happen. I think we feel like for the most part, OKC between draft picks and SGA, like if they don't get it this year, we got 4 or 5 years to make this thing happen. Whereas the Cleveland window with the age of Donovan Mitchell, but also just like you said, the lack of talent that they got in comparison to OKC and Boston being in the conference, it's like if we're gonna have a shot, it's either gonna be this year or next year. We're gonna be out of here. So I think that when I evaluate like Donovan Mitchell as a whole, I threw in the group chat, is he a Hall of Famer? In terms of is he gonna make a statement soon? I do see. I just see it happening soon where he punches above his weight, in the playoff series and do some real carrying. I can see that.
I mean, I can't. We've seen Donovan Mitchell elevate his playoff performance in the past. Back in Utah, might I add, let's just put that little asterisk there. Let's not forget that was some years ago. But on the flip side of that is you trusting Ty Jerome to come in after him and continue whatever he just left on the table? Hell no, I'm not. So for me, I think Cleveland not only has a depth issue, but I just don't see this being a winning playoff roster when you get to the nitty gritty, when you get to those close of quarters, close of halves, those crucial minutes that don't necessarily show up at the end of the game. I just don't have faith in Cleveland in those in between minutes. Like I just can't see it, especially not sustained for a 7-game series.
So
You're asking for essentially 21 games of Donovan Mitchell.
And
Nah.
you got a new head coach in the playoffs, which people forget.
yeah,
Nah, this is not. I mean, again, this is. I'm leaning into the unquantifiables, ball knowledge, and just like how many chips have we seen in the past? Okay, Boston got one last year, but the last 5 chips, how many of those would we say the most talented team in the league won those? So that's just how I see it. I don't know. Like you said, we got a special run, and the stuff that came out last year about them, just like the lights were too bright, and specifically, Mobley's development, I think is a big here. I think you're kind of crazy for saying you'll take shit over him right now, Vance. And then Hunter kind of like seamlessly, like that is. I feel like that's your championship move right there. Your wing depth already.
DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah, that does sound kind of crazy. Like, say that again, bro. Say that again.
Brother, from what they got, you rather try to either go over there? Like, I'm just saying for what they could have got at the deadline. I think that's the thing, whether in terms of commitment from their front office, but also theoretically, a guy that you have an option to throw at these Tatum, some of these other wing creators, or Brunson or something like that in the playoffs. Like I said, 5-6 years. How many champions have been the most talented team? And from my perspective, with the weaker conference, what team, which team can I see punching above their weight, even though they are number one seed? I got Cleveland.
And as we kind of talk about this further, kind of saying that the East is a weaker conference. I don't know because some teams have kind of started to hit their stride as we come to the close. You look at teams like Indiana, New York was hitting their stride before Brunson got hurt, and obviously Detroit has been good all year, but at the end of the day, it's always been Boston is making it out the East. So we're talking about the Cavs as a number one seed. Can they really compete with Boston? And if they can't, can anybody in the East compete with Boston?
The only team I literally can see, and it's not the Cavs, it's the Knicks. Just because the Nova Knicks, especially with Jalen Bronson.
Hey, I'm sorry, but miss me with that shit.
No, listen. Here we
They
go.
have great team, I mean, compared to where they got the slightly less version of us in terms. They're not being good teams. And and you corrected me earlier, Nick, and you're right. They only got 7 folks they're gonna play for real, and all of them playing 38 minutes. So whether
and it works,
somebody gets hurt or they just wear down, like
you said, if somebody already
Bronson is the Shea Gilgis of the East, bro. Literally, that's exactly
I'm sorry.
That's how they play.
Hey,
that is exactly how they play.
This is all I'm gonna say, bro. Like niggas keep talking about Jalen Brunson as a number one option. He is a number one option of a first round exit or maybe not even a playoff team. Like I'm tired of the
how many chances has he really got in there? What, 3 or 4? But we gave Tatum and Brown what? It took them year 8, 9. So he still has time. Did he not make it to the Western Conference Finals? His first year actually hooping on the team?
I say number one option wise.
Yeah. That's why I had to shut you down. Number one option wise, no.
Yeah.
What? No? You would say no? I would say yes. We was dropping 40. Luka was missing playoff games. He was hooping.
I mean, he was cool, bro. He was cool. That's what got him paid in New York. That was the performance that got him paid in New York. So yes, he was hooping.
He is all NBA. He's a really good player. That's just how I feel about Jalen Brunson. I would say the way Shea Gilgeous-Alexander gets his buckets and they treat him on OKC, that's how they hoop with the Knicks. You saw him against the Lakers. We all watched that game. And once he got hurt, the Knicks did not know what to do. But for him to be that valuable to that team, and we've seen him get to a high level, I give them the best chance to beat the Celtics.
But this is also a team that is winless against the Celtics, Cavs, and Thunder. The New York Knicks have 0 total wins against those 3 teams.
Just lost to the Lakers.
We say the equaling out of the conference, but Jalen Brunson as a one option, like Nick said, has his playoff scars against Tyrese Halliburton, 8 seed, and the Brooklyn Nets. That's what we're talking about.
No, this is crazy. The way
so it's terms of who he's going to battle with, and like this validation, like he's a floor raiser in the playoff.
Y'all flipping it for the Nuggets. The Knicks, they have the players with the championship experience getting there to that level. So
Jokic has done this without no all-star teammates, and I look around, I see first of all Cat, but like between all this Nova Knicks shit, like.
OG Anunoby, the only nigga who didn't see the finals.
That is crazy. All right.
Collective effort.
How many teams are better than the Knicks right now in the East? Okay, well, let's just say Boston and Cleveland. Y'all already said those two. Who else is better than them? No.
That's the team. I was going to say Milwaukee.
Jalen Brunson go out there and be better than Giannis for 4 out of 7 games.
They finna play Tuesday. We gonna see. They gonna play Tuesday.
We are going to see.
Give me Milwaukee. That's the team that concerns me the most. Just because no one's talking about them. Kuzma made him better. I think Giannis and Dame, they stay healthy. We're going to see tonight. They're going to play Cleveland. I think whoever wins this game tonight is the team that is going to give Boston the most trouble.
I mean, it's also early with them adding a piece like Kuz, man. They still do have another 20-25 games. It could either work or aren't they going to get Bobby Portis for the playoffs?
4 games to spare. So
yeah, end of the regular season.
So he'll miss like so he'll be there for the entire playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see this shit because like it's a lot of this shit is matchup dependent. If it's like Indy and Cleveland, that's a weird ass matchup because Indy want to run, Cleveland gonna stop them from running. Like I need to see because like when we saw Indiana versus Milwaukee, we all probably picked Indiana because Milwaukee was beat up and like it just was something not right about them last year. First year with Dame, like a power struggle with the coach. Like this year, I feel like they're a lot more like
cohesive.
I agree.
I just don't trust Cleveland, and like other teams like Orlando has fallen off. Dare we say the Pistons will come in and take a playoff series from somebody? There's gonna be some nasty narratives if the Pistons come in and get a series from somebody, and if it's Cleveland, boy, I'm going crazy.
If it's New York, for real, that's what
that would be bad. That would be bad for that team.
And that's kind of what's interesting about the East playoffs is like it's so many teams who are like right on that line. It's like, all right, are these niggas like real? Are these niggas, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we talking about Indiana, talking about Detroit. Even you look at the play-in, like a team like Atlanta, who's always been in mediocrity. Like you just never know. Like any player can get off, but like to TJ's point, I kind of agree with you on the Bucks being the biggest threat, simply because Giannis is the second biggest star in the East. Like it's that
second
simple.
or third best player in the world right now.
Yeah,
and again,
facts.
he's in the stride, and you got he's been up and down, but you got a proven playoff killer as his second, which you don't have in New York.
Nick, what did you just say?
Oh, you want me to repeat what I said? Because them niggas, they pick it up.
I heard you. Who's the biggest star in the East? If Giannis is too.
The anomaly, Jayson Tatum.
Oh, okay. Say what he said.
Hey, I'm gonna keep it a
stack,
stack, bro, because I felt like I kind of needs to come stand on my soapbox today and talk about my glorious king, Jayson Tatum, bro. Because I heard what Colin Cowherd said, bro, saying Jayson Tatum nicknamed the password because he's always forgotten. Like, let's be real, bro. Let's be real.
What was the storyline yesterday? Lakers Celtics.
Tatum had 40.
Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Who got the interview?
God.
Come on, bro. Who got the interview?
It's light skin bias.
One of the best. Who's humbly one of the best players?
Okay,
light skin bias.
They had a graphic talking about they had 83 points, 10 assists. Bro, Tatum had 40 and 8 of the assists. Like, come on, bro.
I just saw Derek Brown and Peyton Pritchard do that like 2 days before.
Come on, bro.
They just did
it. He had a nice quarter. He had a nice quarter. In the first quarter, he was snapping. His little pull up, that side step 3 was hitting. I ain't gonna lie, but
it's been hitting all year.
Hey, bro,
they ain't gonna hit in the playoffs though. We know this.
Who ain't gonna hit in the playoffs?
Oh, come on,
he ain't gonna hit the side step.
When he holding up that second Larry O'Brien with LMA on his side, what you gonna say then?
Come on, bro. With the Finals MVP, we gonna get the hoe this time.
And Jaylen Brown gonna have Kaiser right there holding his MVP.
That ship had sailed, bro. Because he disrespect Bron, he lost his bitch, bro.
Hey, you saw Bron ain't do nothing to Jaylen Brown. He ain't pressed him in the locker room at All-Star weekend. He kept it pushing, but he want to bully Stephen A. old ass. Okay,
I mean,
come on, bro.
He know what's up with Jaylen Brown. He'll smack the shit out of him.
I bet he don't want to find out.
Hey, Jaylen Brown's still from Atlanta. Yeah, he not going. Yeah, Bron not going.
Oh,
he
good.
He had the box fade as a kid, bro. He's crazy for real. I wouldn't mess with him either. Anyways, Tatum is not the biggest star in the East. That's the point I want.
This all I'm gonna say, bro. Tatum is third in 30-point games. He's had 25 30-point games this year. Fifth in the league in scoring, 27 points. So let's not talk like he not coming and showing up to work every day. He's leading the team in points, rebounds, assists, and he's got 29 double-doubles on the year.
And gonna get that first team All NBA spot again
for the third time.
Yeah.
Listen, Josh, you the news man. You more tapped
in the East.
No, Josh, you're more tapped in. I gotta ask you this, bro. It's you've seen kids say, "Man, Giannis is my favorite player. I love Giannis."
Here we go with this shit again, bro.
I ain't never heard a little kid say, "I love Jayson Tatum. I want to be Tatum." You ain't never seen that in your life.
Nobody.
Bro, my daughter gonna be real confused when her name Jayson.
Come on, bro. You talking about Anthony Edwards the same way. That don't mean shit. My favorite player, Anthony Edwards, bro. He fucking sucked. That don't mean shit.
Duality is an important concept that often gets lost in discourse. Two things can be true. Jayson Tatum, top 5 NBA player, not only this year, but the past 3 years. Yes. Best player on the best team should get a certain amount of acknowledgement, accolades. All come with that.
Say that again? The what
but
on
also,
the what team?
The supporter cast that he got around him, and again,
don't give me that.
The lack of aura. He can be a top 5 NBA player, not be somebody that people want to emulate.
Porzingis ain't played in weeks, bro. Come on, bro. Them niggas.
Drew
they
Holiday
don't
first game back last night, but
come on, bro. They don't like to work no more.
He got the perfect AAU squad around him, and it's okay. That's what the front office. That's what Brad Stevens is supposed to do. So it's okay.
Post mover.
No, it's not.
Hey,
because
I'm gonna say this, bro. When you the best nigga in the league, everybody gonna want to hoop with you.
Okay.
Everybody gonna want to hoop with you. Niggas they want to hoop with Bron. Bron ain't make hooping fun. Jayson Tatum make hooping fun, man.
Because I can be better than him. A given night.
I
I can be better. I can be better than him. This nigga's on the hoop. Oh my God. He missed his step back three.
That nigga might be an empty stats player, bro. He just there to get buckets, bro. I want to see Tatum on like the Hornets, bro. I just want to see what would happen. That nigga would be Brandon Miller. Y'all would be calling him Brandon Miller.
What are
like? I'm dead serious. Like, no, he's very good. He is talented, but there's no way he's more of a star player than Giannis. That makes no sense. I'm not gonna let y'all push that narrative.
That gap is way smaller than you think. If they are fighting for that first team NBA spot, it is going to Jayson Tatum this year.
Ain't that nigga Tatum sending Giannis home twice in the playoffs?
Okay.
The Brandon Miller Tatum gap is way smaller than what y'all.
What are you? Come on, bro. What the fuck are you? Come on, bro.
Hey,
I'm not gonna let y'all do this shit, bro.
I'm dead serious.
How are you dead serious?
I can tell that nigga Vance ain't got no
every year.
Yeah, he a real Lakers fan. That's on his heart type shit. There's no analysis. Straight, yeah. I ain't mad at you.
Yeah, you two peas in a pod with that hate and shit. How you one of the 5 best players in the world every year, but we talking about some Brandon Miller, who might be the 3rd best player on his own team, bro. That nigga not even the 2nd best player on the team.
We were saying, I don't think Tatum the best player on the Celtics. How many times do I have to explain that to you?
Wait a second. Hold on.
Dan White.
Wait, hold on.
Hayden Pritchard over here dropping 40 in a game like they Bron and Kyrie.
That don't make them the best player. Nigga.
What that mean, bro?
But that mean it's easy for you to be the best player. It's easy for you to be the best player when you got bitch niggas.
Tatum ain't played the night they dropped 40.
He never gets double. Tatum never gets double because he never.
So fucking cap.
Oh my God.
All right, pull up the film. All right, pull up film. Pull up film. Pull up film.
Pull up film.
Pull up film.
We not on the Celtics roster, nigga. We can't just pull
he
up.
He got all these other snipers, bro, and he don't really. He get freedom to do like that broken ass shot. Like, come on.
I think Vance slightly is going too far. A little bit. But I think Tatum he's the most replaceable top 5 guy in the league. You can take out Tatum and put Edwards. You can take out Tatum and put KD. And the Celtics will look large.
KD? Yeah. You can put Jaren Jackson in his role and it's going to work out just fine. I'm dead serious. Zion Williamson. You can put Zion is better than him, in my opinion.
All right, y'all. So thank y'all for tuning into another episode of No Cap Sports. We're done, bro. We're done.
No,
we're done.
Bro. Please clip all that shit so the Celtics fan and then tag Celtics so you can just cook it, man.
The 7 black Celtics fans, we're gonna get a lot of that.
Come on, bro.